It's the producer.
Usus.
The producer. Look at that. Let's start with that. K-pop.
Yeah, welcome to Channel 9 News. Strike!
What's up, team? 𝓵𝓲𝓪 back again. This time I'm with the fishing legend again, Gab from ISO Fishing, and we're going to be talking about something that I'm not too familiar with, and the whole team. We don't do this too often, and it's boat fishing, jigging off the boat, and we're going to do a few sessions in the near future. So we thought let's do a video to just go through the basics and explain a few things from the professional right here. So we will go through a couple of things. The first one is overhead versus spinning reels and what the advantages are. Star drag versus lever drag. I've got no clue. Got no clue what that is. I think Gab and Will tried to explain it a few times. Still don't get it.
Don't worry, you'll be a master after this masterclass.
Spinning high and low gear. We'll have a couple of setups that Gab will show us, and we'll go through the difference between slow pitch and fast jigging and the different types of actual jigs itself. We'll go through this. It will be a two-part series, a two-part video, because it's quite a lot of content. But hopefully this will provide you guys that want to get into boat jigging with some basic information and know what you need to get. Overhead and spinning reels. Gab, you know, like walk us through, man.
Yep.
Walk us through how you would use the two different types of reels and which one is potentially better for jigging.
For jigging? Okay, perfect. I'm just going to grab my reel. It's a Saltiga 15H.
Oh, this is one that you use?
Yes, this is my personal reel.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's the one that you probably see on the boat, but we'll touch on that a bit later.
Yeah.
I'd like to note down that there's four main advantages when it comes to overheads, especially when you're jigging. The first noticeable difference is obviously the line capacity.
Okay.
So with the overhead reels, in general, for their size, they carry much more line. So they've got a much larger line capacity compared to spinning reels, which makes them a much more popular option for guys going deep sea jigging, or even if it's just normal jigging. Reason being is when you're jigging, let's say if you're jigging 8 meters of water, you get snagged, you lose 68 meters.
Yeah.
Or let's say when you're jigging and then you come across a school of leather jackets,
yeah,
of course you should run somewhere else. But in the case that you do get snipped a few times, you still have ample line there to keep jigging as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so
so for example, what size is this?
So this is a Daiwa Saltiga 15. On this, I've got P2 600 meters put on here right now.
600 meters?
Yep, 600.
Tiny,
yeah, so it's tiny, but it does carry a lot of line.
But it is P2 though?
That's correct.
Yeah, right, okay. All right, Gab, just with this reel here, what's the drag on that thing?
So this, what I've got in my hand, the 22 Saltiga 15 has 13 kilos of drag. 13
kilos.
Yep.
I mean, look, you don't need like 20. You know, you talk about the Saltigas and the Stellas, 25 kilo drag. You don't really need it with overhead, do you?
Look, not necessarily, unless you're going, let's say like New Zealand and you're chasing like a 30-40 kilo king, or if you're going, let's say overseas to Vanuatu and you're chasing doggies on P8. Yeah, if that's the case, you may need the P. Then you may need like 20 kilos of drag. Right. But realistically, off Sydney, no.
You don't really need it, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, okay.
Even with the star drags, if you didn't need more drag, you can just pretty much just thumb the spool. Yeah. It just gives you some extra drag pressure. Yeah. So I'll barely say on this reel in Sydney that people are going to lock their drags up.
Lock drag?
Really?
So just talk to me about the handle too, because I think that's the one thing that you straight away see on a overhead reel. Yeah. Because the handles are very different to a spinning reel has, right?
That's correct. So with these handles, these handles are a little bit heavier than your traditional, obviously like your egg knob handles. Yeah. With these, they're much more ergonomic. So when you're jigging, the way that you jig or the motion of jigging, so when you actually hold the actual handle, it's much more comfortable in the hands, especially if you're going to jig all day. Right. Also, another thing is, due to the motion of jigging, yes, if you want to grab a reel, Yeah, so when you're jigging, also a lot of times with people when they're jigging with the motion, you can actually pull the reel up and it just gives you better grip as well. Yeah, so when you're jigging. Yeah, whereas
I think what I've noticed too, the guys when you hook up with the overhead, you can actually pull with the handle itself. So, so you're not just purely pulling with the rod. You're actually pulling with the handle also.
That's correct. No, so that's spot on.
You got more power.
Yeah, so it just gives you that grip, and also just gives you, like, I guess, another point. So much like what you mentioned. So when you want to set the hook, you pull the rod, but at the same time you can pull up your whole setup with the rod and the handle at the same time. To set the hook.
All right. Gab, what other benefits are there with the overhead, man?
So with the overheads, just to keep it simply, the gear sets on the overheads are much stronger. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, actual gears on the overheads, they're much stronger. They've just got more torque, which is very noticeable when you're simply just winding the jig up in deeper water. Let's say you're fishing like 80, 100 meters. With the resistance with the overheads, they're much easier to crank up the jig. Also, when you're fighting the fish as well, because they've got more torque, it's much easier to keep in control and just make the whole process easier. And at the end of the day, it just makes the jigging less fatiguing as well for the angler.
So do you know, I mean, we probably don't want to get into the detail of the mechanics, but do you know the basics of why it's got more torque? Is it just the way the gears are like directly on the line or the spool?
Yeah, so the main reason why the overheads are stronger is just the way that the main gears are positioned. So with the traditional spinning reel, you've got like the drive gear or the main gear, which goes up and it connects to the pinion gear. Which has to turn the pinion gear. However, they do rotate it in a different direction.
That's right.
So as
this one is straight onto the actual spool itself.
That's correct. Which is why you just get more torque out of it.
Makes sense.
The last advantage is that I personally find is with the overheads, they're much easier to drop and jig. So this model which I've got in my hands, which is a Stradic model, it's got a small lever on the side of the reel. So if it's full, you just correct. So you just click down the lever. You drop your jig down, keep your thumb in contact with the braid, just so it doesn't bird's nest or tangle on the way down. Once it hits the desired depth, you can simply, so you don't actually have to switch off the full lever. You can actually just wind it and it clicks into gear.
Did most of them do that? Most of the overheads?
Stradics sure all do that.
Even the Shimano too, right?
The Shimanos as well. Anything with the Stradic generally does click over. The lever drags don't, but that's something that we'll be touching on a little bit later.
All right, Gab, let's get on to the spinning reel, man. Our specialty.
That's it.
That's all I know. So what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages with spinning reels, and how should we use them for boat jigging, man?
For jigging? Well, the main advantages that I can see of a spinning reel over a overhead is the fact that, look, I would say probably 9 out of 10 people already have or own a spinning reel, which just makes it much more easier to access. Obviously, it saves you from having to buy another reel and a rod. So a lot of the guys, they can just purchase just another rod to suit the reel. Second of all is as many anglers have already used or start off with spinning reels, it's much easier for them to use. It's much more comfortable. It's something much more familiar. The second thing is generally you've got a wider range of spinning reels on the market at a more affordable price. So for obviously anglers who don't want to spend too much on the new jigging setup, a spinning reel is a great option. It still gets the job done.
Okay. And what's in the market at the moment? What's the most popular?
At the moment, look, it just depends on your budget. Obviously, us being a specialty store, like we do sell a lot more of the medium to high-end reels. However, in saying that, it's not like you can't get a cheaper jigging setup. You can get a like a $300 jigging setup, which is still going to do the job great.
But you're going to recommend the Saltiga, though,
Look, that's what I use. I've got the Saltiga overhead and the spin. Sorry? Oh, look, the Twin Power's a great reel. You know, for each angler, it's a common debate that everyone's obviously going to come across Daiwa versus Shimano or other brands.
This is a nice reel,
man. And also just
like Hans really did well with the when he was spinning with the Twin Power. He was using the 8,000 Twin Power and just pumping it, man.
Well, this was for your Indonesia trip, yeah?
All right, Gab. Let's actually get into the actual reels itself and some of your recommendations. So start with the overheads. What do you recommend, man? What's what's popular at the moment and
Yep.
what's good for Sydney fishing?
For Sydney fishing, I would probably say in terms of Daiwa and Shimano, the Daiwa 22 Saltiga 15, which is, this is my personal reel. With this and the Offshore Jigger, they sort of go on par.
Okay.
The Offshore Jigger is the flagship by Shimano. The Saltiga 15 is the flagship by Daiwa.
Yeah.
However, I'll start off with all the Daiwa reels first. So obviously the 22 Saltiga 15, one of my favorites. It's got a super strong drag system. It's got 13 kg of drag. Aesthetically, I think it looks amazing as well. Yeah, it just looks perfect with, especially like the new Saltiga rods, which just came out.
Yeah.
So if you're in the market for, let's say, like a high-end flagship, if you just want the best that money can buy from a Daiwa, you've got the Saltiga 15.
And it still has that color, right? That's like the same color scheme as the spinning Saltigas.
That's correct, yeah. So whether you get like a 23 Saltiga or like a 2020 Saltiga, right. They all run the same colorway. Okay. Which is great because it follows on through like the rod series as well. So they sort of get you in a way that if you get the reel, you have to get the rod as well, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
So is that the largest size? Is there a couple of different sizes?
I think over in Japan, they may have released a larger one. I'm not too sure, I'll have to double check. However, in the local market at the moment, for the Saltiga series, this is the largest size.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much are they going for roughly?
These are $9.99 at the moment.
Okay. Just under $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. What else, man?
Okay, so we'll work our way down. So that's obviously the flagship. The next,
that's your most preferred, I guess, because it is yours.
Well, that is mine. Actually, we're gonna get for this guy first.
Oh, we're gonna get this one. All right,
yes.
All right. So we're doing Daiwas first, okay.
Yep, so we're gonna run through 3 Daiwa reels first. Okay. The next one I want to introduce is the Tierra LJ IC. So the IC stands for Intelligence Counter.
Yeah. Intelligence counter.
Yeah. So pretty much, it's an electronic line counter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I thought you meant like CIA, you know?
Oh, like CIA, all the way to
intelligence.
Yeah, you can put it that way as well. It's sort of cheating because it shows you how deep you're fishing. Oh, look, it just makes the jigging process easier. It just runs off like a small, it's like a watch battery. It's like one of those flat batteries on the side.
Yeah.
That you can obviously use to charge it up.
Yeah.
But what it is, pretty much, it's just a small jigging reel. You still can use offshore as well. It holds P2 up to 400 meters from memory.
Right.
But the main purpose of this is for light jigging. So hence the name, the Tierra LJ for light jigging.
Light jigging, yeah.
Yeah. But you can still use this offshore as well.
So how does it work? How does the counting work? Is there a battery in there or something? Or?
Yeah, so there's actually a battery on the side of the left-hand side of the actual reel plate.
Right, okay.
So you just get like a screwdriver or 5-cent coin. You can just open that just to replace it.
Yeah.
But there's a small button which you can press on top just to switch it on. So switch is on.
Yeah.
As soon as you start dropping with it, it'll go into minus.
Okay.
And then it just shows you how much line you have.
Oh, right, man.
Yeah.
Okay. That helps because you're always guessing how deep you are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And this is a similar sort of setup or similar structure as the other one. So same drag. Do you know if you got the same?
To be honest, I'm not too sure about the drag.
I think it's smaller. It might be actually.
Drag. Yeah, probably would be. Like my guess will be that it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah. What is a P? Was that P1?
For this reel, I'm pretty sure it's P2 400 meters.
Oh, P2.
Yeah, whereas the Saltiga, the 15, was P2 600 meters.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
okay,
so there is a bit of difference.
Yeah.
However, obviously the line capacity, there is a bit of difference because of this IC system up top, which takes up a little bit of space up top. Yeah, also one thing I want to also mention is for anglers who just want something that obviously lays the line neater, especially if using like a lighter PE, like let's say like a PE1 or PE1.5. All the IC reels, including the Saltiga IC series as well, they've also got a line feeder at the front as well.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah.
Some of them don't, right? So some of them just you got to manually feed it.
For the jigging reels, they're actually designed with a narrower spool. Right. So essentially you don't have to feed it while you're jigging.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So which is why I love the jigging reels, they come with a narrow spool.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to use your finger to lay the line while you're jigging. You'll notice that as the line clumps to one side, it'll sort of start slipping off and it starts winding on the other side. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. And
because I'm used to like the proper overheads. You know what I mean? Like, and you got
Yeah, like you gotta feed the line. Yeah.
you gotta do that while you're pumping.
Pumping, yeah, I know. Yeah. Cool. So with the jigging reels, you don't have to do that. Yeah. The only thing you have to take note of is just after you finish fishing, just drop it down, and then when you wind it, you just feed the line with your finger just to keep it tidy, and off you go.
All right, Gab, what's next, man?
Okay, so.
That was the star drags?
Yes, so those two are star drags. The next reel I want to talk about is also a star drag, but the next reel is going to be a Shimano. So anybody who's been jigging for a while is very familiar with the name, the Shimano Jigger. This actually came out much earlier compared to the Saltiga 15, which is a 22 model. So this is actually the 19 model. This is the Offshore Jigging F Custom. This is also a star drag model as well for jigging. Look, very popular reel.
Strong coffee, man.
Sorry?
That's right, it's strong coffee, bro.
Nah, I need you to stay awake during this video.
These ISO guys, they love it strong. Look at this. Out.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do some late night, some late night filming. So
we're gonna do a Jewish session tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right after.
What's happening? So, all right, so these are the Shimano, and these are quite popular. I mean, I see Offshore Jigger, and people, they've got the gloves, they've got all these other sort of, what do you call it, man?
Well, all the apparel, all the gear,
and all that type of stuff. Yeah, okay. So it's mainly just for overhead. That's it.
Sort of. So the Ocea name is sort of synonymous with Shimano's series of saltwater, offshore saltwater type fishing.
Overhead.
Yep. So whether it be casting or overhead.
Okay.
Hence why you see a lot of the Ocea, like the Shimano stick baits. They're all classified in the Ocea series. Ocea Jiggers. They've got Ocea Jigger rods. You've got the Ocea full throttles. Or the pluggers, which are the boat casting models as well.
Ocea braid.
Pretty much. Lures, leaders.
Would you say it's the top end?
Top end Shimano saltwater series. For heavy stuff.
Makes sense,
So once again, the Offshore Jigger, it also comes with that T-knob as well.
T-knob,
very ergonomic. It's very popular in the jigging reels. If you see most jigging reels, unless they've got the round knob, I'll say the majority of them are now switching over to this this T-knob style.
Right.
Yeah, so you can check for yourself, but...
Is this lighter? Oh, no.
No, it's a little bit heavier. I wouldn't say by much. Technically, the actual size-wise is actually the same size.
So what's this? What size is this?
That's a 2K, yeah.
What was that? What was that in the Daiwa?
That's a Saltiga 15.
15. Oh, they got different size ratings.
That's correct,
Okay. You know what the drag is on this? No?
Now my guess will be 11 or 13 kilos, once again,
Around that much. Okay. These look good, man.
Yeah, it's a slick reel. It's a really nice gunmetal color.
And how much is this going for?
You're testing me on this one. I think 769. I think 789.
Yeah. I mean, it's an older model, so.
Oh, look, even then, like, it's still a fantastic reel.
Okay. I know I was going to be happy with that comment. Good work.
So one unique feature about this reel. So this is the Offshore Jigger F Custom.
Right.
Yeah. Can you get what the F Custom stands for? Yeah,
it's not swearing.
Yeah, no, keep it PG.
So what is it? I don't know. What's F?
So the F Custom is actually so it's a 4 custom.
4 custom. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a 4 lever. So remember what I was saying about the with the overhead reels. So when you drop it, you flick the free spool option and then you thumb it.
Right.
So with the F Custom, instead of having to thumb it, there's actually another lever on the side of the reel. So you can actually adjust this lever. So this is the 4 lever.
Right.
So this pretty much holds the tension while the jig's dropping. Which means essentially you don't have to keep an eye on it or
you don't thumb it.
Or take note. That's correct. Spot on. So it just acts as like a automatic thumb. So just something that makes it much more convenient, I guess. You're much more comfortable.
You don't have to set it. You just leave it at that, whatever you prefer.
That's correct. So you can actually adjust the tension. So you can make it looser, or you can make it so it's a little bit tighter. So when you're, for example, when you're dropping heavier jigs, you can make the tension a bit tighter.
So what I've been told is you thumb it or you put tension on it so that the jig drops down vertically.
That's correct.
Not because if you don't and you free spool it, it could potentially like flutter down.
Right? Yes, somewhat. Yeah. Look, me personally, I like my jigs to fall in I guess a more natural manner.
Just in case.
Just in case.
So you might hook up.
Yes.
on the drop.
Correct. Yes. Look, that's something. It does, but we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. And what's the last one here?
That's a Saltiga. So that's a Saltiga LD.
Right.
This is something that's not on the list, but I thought it might be good to check a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
This is pretty much a lever drag reel which we have here. I won't touch too much on the lever drag reels because the lever drag is something that we'll be touching on a little bit later.
Yeah.
But that's just another option. It's a great reel for. So this is actually sold by Daiwa Australia as well. Once again, this is one of their fair few lever drag reels. It's available in overhead models which you can use for game fishing. But this model in particular is it's a jigging model.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think there was recent advertisements for rock fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were just released a couple of some advertisements, posters.
Yeah, for the lever drags.
Yeah. All right, Gab. Spinning reels, man.
Yep.
Spinning reels. Like, walk us through what your preferences are. You know, we've done videos previously, but that was mainly for rock fishing and shore jigging.
Yep.
But this time around is boat jigging.
Boat jigging, that's correct.
What do you reckon? What's the
well, first one, once again, my reel. The 23 Saltiga. The 23 Saltiga. Yeah, just excuse the line. I know I'm missing a lot of line. I think it's re-spooled for our trip.
What happened?
Sorry?
What happened?
Oh, just snags, man.
Right.
Yeah, just a bad fisherman.
So that's a 6,000 size, yeah?
That's correct, yeah. So this is a 6000H. This is not the XH. This can be one of the reels which I'm going to be using for the trip. This is personally one of my favorite reels. It's been one of my reels which I use a lot for my shore jigging. Also, it's a great versatile reel which I'm going to be using off the boat as well. I'm going to surprise you later with a new rod that I'm going to match it up with. Yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Your rod?
My rod. Oosh. There's a new rod, a new release, which many of you probably would have seen, but it's just a new addition to the arsenal. So yes, you'll see that one soon. All right. So that's got P3 on it.
So that's your preference.
Number one
preference
by far.
Okay.
So for the size, it's very compact, super smooth, really powerful gears as well, and for how strong it is, it's very light. Yeah.
So I'll get one too, man.
You want 2 or 3?
You know, I'm a fan of Saltiga. So.
I know. Oh man, I couldn't say no, especially when me and William, you know, when we went to Japan last year, and then we were there for the tackle show, and then we saw the release of it. We fell in love straight away.
It looks nice, man.
I know, it's a nice reel.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll let you have 3 wines on the boat.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
On the fish.
On the fish. or a snag. The next one I want to introduce was the Certate, the SW.
Yeah.
However, we are sold out, and as you're probably aware, there's a new model coming out, which we haven't received yet. So unfortunately, I can't show. Yeah, SW as well.
Coming out.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we should be receiving it probably in the next month or so.
What size is that? Is that 5,000, 6,000 again?
That's correct. Yeah, 5,000, 6,000. I'm pretty sure it's in the H and XH models.
Okay. Is it going to be something different to the previous?
Oh, sorry. In the 4,000, 5,000, and 6,000 this time.
So there's also 4,000.
That's correct. So my guess is obviously they've followed through with the new Saltiga sizing as well for the small sizes.
Okay.
Yeah. So previously it was only the 5 and 6Ks, but now it's great that they created a 4K as well.
So, yeah. Okay. Look, the previous SW 5,000, 6,000 Certates was really popular.
Super popular.
Everyone that came into this shop would be recommended by Gab to get one of those. So they emptied it out. So now it's going to be a new model.
Correct. Yeah. And mind you, William's actually got the 6,000 himself as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And that's been. Have you guys been using that for boat jigging also?
For the boat jigging, no, not yet. So even with the new Saltiga, I haven't taken it out yet.
Yeah.
So our next trip together, which will be the videos that you guys see very shortly, will probably be the first time I get to use it. Yeah.
Ultimate collabo.
Yes, on the
fishing collabo.
Yeah, it's been 6 years in the making. Yeah, because Hardy's been dogging it. That's
Hey, hold on! I've been fishing, bro.
Sorry.
Really? Apparently, Will's coming.
Really?
Yeah, apparently Will's coming, and apparently he knows how to fish.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. Have a cast.
Hey Jay, you need to come with us too, man. Let's go.
No, one day we'll get all the boys out one day as well. Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good. All right. Well, is that what's the other reels that you want to recommend?
The other one, the Shimano Stella. Obviously, everybody knows Stella. Shimano's flagship. That's correct. So you can get 5,000 or 6,000. So the actual bodies on them, they're pretty much the same.
About the same size, though.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the same size.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? We're gonna weigh them. We're gonna weigh them later. Did we ever weigh this last time?
I'm pretty sure we did. Off the top of my head, I think the Saltiga's 400 grams. I think 405 grams. Right. Ballpark. I think the Stella is around 435. The 6K.
Okay. Okay, it's about the same.
Yeah. So Stella, that's the Stella 6K.
Is that the what is that slow or? So
that's actually an XH which I've grabbed.
XH, okay.
But for guys who want to use it just for jigging purposes off the boat, the 6K PG, there's also a 6K PG option as well.
Okay.
Yep. Actually, I think there is from Shimano. Yeah. Right. Next one, twin power. Although I've got the twin power SW in the 4000 model, this spec right here in the 5 or 6K will also do the job great. The only thing is the twin powers, to my knowledge, they don't come in a low gear model. Okay. So they're only available in a high or an extra high, which is the XG model. Right. Which still does the job. Like the gears are still super strong on these as well. Right. It still gets the job done. It's just it's going to be just a little bit more effort when you're working the jigs and also when you're firing the fish as well.
Right. Okay.
Yep. So that's pretty much to wrap up the high-end series.
The high-end, okay, both the overhead and the spinning.
And the spin, yep. And
there's a lot of options there, man.
Oh look, there's heaps of options. Like if I wanted to, I could get 4 of these tables full of reels, but I think it's going to confuse everyone. So next one is obviously just your standard series of reels. Look, it's by no means a standard series. I'll just say it's not the high-end series, so it's pretty much the tier, the mid-level. It's a tier just below that. So it's a reel that everybody knows. The two that go pretty much head-to-head. That's a new Stradic SW.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a new 24.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's the first time seeing it.
Yeah, it is the first time I've seen it, man. I didn't realize they came out.
Yeah.
And it's all dark.
That's correct.
Okay. So is it 6,000?
That's the 6,000.
Yeah. I got the 4,000, the previous 4,000 model.
Yeah.
It feels a bit different, man. It actually feels different to the previous Stradic.
Yeah.
What was the previous one? FK?
Oh, this is actually the SW series.
Oh, this is SW?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Okay. Is this the first time they've come out with this SW Stradic?
No, there's actually a previous model as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
I know that, man.
Yeah, so locally this is the second generation of Stradic SWs.
So there's more seals, I'd assume.
So compared to the Stradic that you have, which is the Stradic FL or the FK, I'm not sure which model you have.
I think it's the F. What's the last one?
That one's probably the FK.
Okay.
No, sorry, FJ.
Okay.
FK, No, it's there's FL. Yeah, FL.
Man, there's too many versions, man.
Yeah, and then also it's all Fs as well. So pretty much, the 2019 was the FL, and then they released the FM.
Right, okay.
Yeah, which is the latest one on the market, which is the silver one.
Yeah.
So that pretty much is their more, I guess, their small to medium size Stradic series.
Yeah.
The SW series, they've actually added a new 4000 into the range as well.
Right.
It's something that Shimano Australia didn't have previously in their series.
Right.
Their lineup used to consist of the 5000 up to the 14,000.
Right.
However, now they've incorporated a SW 4000 into the range as well.
Wow. Is that because Daiwa did it? No, I don't know.
Could be. We'll never know.
Who knows? But I'll tell you what, it does feel different. I'll say this one feels more solid than the previous model.
Yep.
It actually feels a lot more rigid.
Yep.
It's probably not as free spool as the other ones, and probably because of the seals. I'm not sure. I haven't read into it, but yeah, it definitely feels a lot more sturdy.
Yeah, it's much sturdier, and also obviously being a SW series as well, it's designed for more like the saltwater terrain, hence why they offer the reel in larger sizes as well. William's going to have a video about this soon, which goes into detail in regards to the actual reel. But also another feature is the model that you have in your hands right now, that's the PG model, which is a power gear, which is pretty much the optimal gear ratio.
It's really for actual jigging.
That's correct, yeah, for bow fishing.
You know what, but you can change the handles, right? So you can have it like the T knob.
The T knob, yes you can. Just bear in mind with the T knob, so you can change these handles to the T knob. If you're ever going to cast with it, I don't recommend it. The only reason is due to the actual weight of and the shape of it. So if you actually cast with that thing, it's actually because of the weight of it, you actually click your rotor over. It actually moves it. Actually, I think for the SW reels it should be okay because well, these are obviously because they don't have the bail switch. It's okay, but I still wouldn't be casting with that thing because after you cast, it just spins. It swings like crazy.
If I was going to buy a PG model reel or a P model, I wouldn't use it for shore fishing, like for land-based fishing. I'd use it
generally not
jigging. You know what I mean? I think it's mostly too slow for the type of fishing we do off the rocks. Anyway. All right, I'm liking this, man. What's the other recommendation that you got?
So the next one is the equivalent in the Daiwa. Everybody's probably seen this reel before.
I think I made it worse.
It's a Daiwa Saltist MQ. So I've also got this in a 6000 size as well. This is just a high speed. It's not extra high. It's not a power gear. Something in the middle.
But there's no options, right? Is there options?
For these ones, no. No.
It's just high gear.
So that's a 6K model.
You know what? After holding the Saltiga, it's very different. Very different. You get what you pay for. That's I guess that's the key message with these reels. Okay, and anything to call out with this particular reel? No?
Look, the biggest feature of it is obviously the arc knob, or like they don't stay in the models, but that's pretty much an arc knob, which stands for an aluminium round knob. It just makes it much easier when you're jigging as well, or whether it be shore jigging or.
You explained this last time. And it's got mag seal also. This one.
It's got the mag seal, and I think the biggest upgrade to these reels would be the MQ body, which is a monocoque body.
Very good. All right, guys, that's it for the first video. There's quite a lot of detail there. We'll let you guys have a bit of a break, and the next video we'll go through the rest of the topics, so you'll have a really complete understanding of boat jigging, which